It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
First thing I'ma say, just stop playing. Using my name, get put in that top saying. The top soil ain't promoting black wars. All I do is drive bars. But still a nigga that'll catch wreck on any cassette deck like I'm Big Ellen it. I take them to another place like Arrested Development. Fuck a settlement. I rose from sediment, been holding sentiments. Home of Confederate predicate felons in my element. Boy, y'all ain't shit to me artistically or lyrically. If I let the trigger squeeze, I'm speaking hypothetically. Fresh and local rapping from the cradle to the grave. Y'all been silver spooned, I've been handing ladles to the slaves. It's a mindset, flies and identified objects. Showed my creative process, y'all talking nonsense. Everybody wanna be hard, till them bullets start flying, they don't wanna see God. They deserve an E-guard. For the role we clapping like it was Noya. Boy, I'm slimmer than that soldier, but I'm really about to show you slow motion. I'm Neo from the Matrix with this rap shit. Even off the bench and precise like I'm John Paxson. Benediction, bitch, I'm beneficial to the game. Quintessential, everything I spit essential to the brain. Like a pistol high bang, loaded with information. Try and blend it with a rap instead of quoting dissertations. Best approach with hesitation, I learned it from Newton. Pick a fight with me, it's no longer my fault if I'm shooting. Send love to the artist for Coopin'. I got the heart of a student. I learned the game, then I started a movement. Put the city on my back like an oxygen tank. Ain't no talking my accounts if you argue with banks. I walk to the plank, stand like a man. Who gon' do something? I posted up like a witness that see the news coming. I'm cool running, how I'm sliding on the track. Learn to talk smooth, got your baby mama on the jack. My flow clean, like I pour a comet on the track. I'm shining like white walls with a diamond in the back, yeah.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. I was not planning on making this video today. Did not have it on my radar. Just happened to come across my desk. Apparently, Lil Wayne is still talking shit, still feeling salty about not getting the Super Bowl performance opportunity. He's still throwing underhanded comments in the direction of Kendrick Lamar, despite saying they're still on good terms. This nigga got to be one of the weirdest that I've come across. And it feels especially weird because this is a nigga that I've looked up to tremendously. I've told y'all that so many times, bruh. If you listen to the fucking intro, you can't say J Nolan wasn't inspired by Wayne. But goddamn, Wayne, you keep fucking up. This are the after effects of dropping out and not furthering your emotional intelligence. Good God. So he's got a new interview out with Rolling Stone. He's preparing the Carter 6, which finally gonna get the Carter 6, which I will be listening to despite his passive aggression toward Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna check it out. I'm probably gonna review it on the channel. Hopefully it's worth one. And let's just go ahead and get into it, man, because I got other shit I gotta try to get to as well. So this article is titled Chasing Lil Wayne, Missed Interviews, All-Night Studio Sessions, and Brutal Honesty. When we finally caught up to him, the rap legend went deep on the Carter 6, his family, the Super Bowl, and more, often leaving us speechless in the process, okay? So apparently he's recording the album here in Atlanta. I wish I could talk to Wayne and, maybe give him some, I don't know, some game from a nigga that actually lived a normal life. Says 5 a.m. in Georgia. Tree Sound Studios is quiet. I'm in a side room of the vast Oki complex near Atlanta, preparing to be the first person outside of Lil Wayne's circle to hear the Carter 6, the album he's been working on for 6 years. Guess that's kind of serendipitous. On this mid-January night. Okay, so this is the start of this conversation happens in January. Okay? And I guess it was a couple months process in order to get this thing completed. Especially with Wayne. He goes through his mood switches. He don't want to talk. All that different type of stuff. So they getting into the album, which I would love to talk about, but we haven't heard anything from it. They're in Atlanta, just setting the stage. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. I wish I had the time to. But nonetheless, they're in Atlanta. They got Wayne's son in the studio. Lil Twist is still around. All this stuff. Okay, at 42 years old, 30 years into his career, Lil Wayne is still driven by the fervor to be the best rapper alive. Born Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. in the Holly Grove section of New Orleans. Shout out to my NO niggas. He was signed around age 11 after calling the Cash Money Records office every single day, rapping into their voicemail until the founders, Birdman and his brother Slim, gave him a chance. Decades later, after helping Cash Money become a southern rap giant as one-fourth of the Hot Boys, then becoming the label's flagship solo artist, then helming the Young Money movement, Wayne still makes music every day, which I do commend him for. Okay? They then go on to talk about how prolific he's been in his career. 13 solo albums, 5 EPs, 30 or so mixtapes, hundreds of features. Have earned him 187 appearances on Billboard Hot 100. I mean, still, that stacks up pretty impressively, I gotta say. I wish he had a longer verse on Tyler Sticky. He bodied that motherfucker, you know what I mean? Just because I don't like certain activities of Wayne doesn't mean I can't give him his credit when due. Looks like he's working with Wyclef frequently on this Carter 6 album. That actually gives me a little bit of hesitance to listen to it. I don't know what Wyclef is, going to bring to it that Wayne couldn't have gotten on his own or through other producers. Wyclef is dope. Wyclef's a legend himself, but that worries me a little bit. Wyclef Jean, a key collaborator on Carter 6, thinks Wayne will be seen as an icon centuries from now, such as Bach, Thelonious Monk, Miles Davis, and Shakespeare. Okay. We're going to skip past some of this stuff because although, again, he's had an illustrious career, we want to get to the shits. All right? So here we get to the Super Bowl talk and the smoke, all right? So they say after one Carter 6 song, Wayne tells the room they could have had some music mimicking guitar playing, but instead they got rapping. He's talking about the NFL. He says they fucked up. He says after another song. So he said they could have had some music, but all they got was some rapping on that motherfucking stage. Excuse me, Wayne. Have you heard your music for the last decade? You don't even hardly do hooks no more. Your hooks be portions of your verses repeated. As a nigga that's been a fan. Your verses be about eating coochie, sticking coochie, liking coochie, watching coochie. And then in the midst of it, you're going to talk about smoking some weed, sipping some lean. And that's been repeated for a decade. And you find all the clever ways to put that together, but you ain't been talking about a motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So please miss us with that. Because all you was going to get up there was rap. And I hate to say it. Anyway, in 2023, Wayne told Rolling Stone he'd love to play this year's Super Bowl halftime show since it was happening at New Orleans Superdome. They're revisiting his hometown stadium. But last September, the NFL announced Kendrick Lamar was getting the nod, and Wayne released a video revealing that not being selected broke him, all right? This is flashback material. Onlookers wondered whether NFL brass had told Wayne something to make him feel like he was poised to be the choice. Wayne says the league encouraged him to be more public-facing in preparation for the show, making him feel like the selection was inevitable. Okay, so this is where they try to get into why Wayne took it so hard that he was not the choice and Kendrick Lamar was, right? Because it seemed like he had been let down, disappointed. It felt like Christmas skipped him, but not the other kids in the house, right? And all of us were looking like, well, damn, who told Wayne that he was a shoo-in? Well, he came out and said nobody explicitly told him that it was his, but in this article, he's going to get into how they made him feel like that's what was coming, okay? He says to perform, it's a bunch of things they're going to tell you to do and not to do. Asses to kiss and not kiss, okay? So apparently he received a set of maybe deliverables or maybe just some, suggestions like, hey, if you want to play the Super Bowl, You're going to have to come outside. You're going to have to shake hands, kiss babies, do some of the things that maybe you have not been doing for the last decade or so. Ever since you reached the peak of your career, you've been more so, in the studio with your family. We're going to need you to be present. Get back around the who's who in the industry, right? So he says, if you notice, I was a part of things I've never been a part of, like Michael Rubin's all-white parties, okay? So this was a big deal because Wayne said nobody even spoke to him at that party, including Drake. Now he's saying the reason he was even there was because the NFL encouraged it, or somebody from that side encouraged his presence, right? He says, I'm doing shit with Tom Brady. That was all for that. You ain't never seen me in them types of venues. I ain't Drake. I ain't out there smiling like that everywhere. I'm in the stew, smoking and recording. He says after the Lamar announcement, someone at the NFL apologized and told him, we ain't in charge. Okay? So here we get another reference to an apology, just like Skip Bayless had came out and said, right? Wayne is now saying somebody, he can't say who it was, but somebody gave him an apology and says, we not the ones in charge. Basically saying, it's Jay-Z's fault, okay? Which, again, makes things look crazy because him and Jay-Z have had a good relationship. He says all of a sudden, according to them, they got curved. So I'm going to have to just settle with whatever they say, he resolves. Jay-Z, whom Wayne has called a close friend, runs Roc Nation, which oversees the halftime show. Last year, halftime show producer Jesse Collins said Jay-Z has chosen the Super Bowl act since 2019. Wayne says he's cool with his one-time collaborator, lauding him as someone with a wealth of advice who's just a text away. Neither the NFL nor Jay-Z responded to a request for comment. Wayne tells me things are fine between him and Lamar. Wayne called the LA rapper ahead of the Super Bowl to clear the air and to encourage him. Again, we've heard this story of him calling Kendrick. We don't know. It's been implied that Kendrick didn't pick up. I don't know that, but I know that's a story that's run rampant in online communities. Nonetheless, that's what it was. But he's still taunting the situation, saying they could have had some real music. All they got was rapping. I don't think that's something you say to somebody you're still cool with. Now, Jay-Z, on the other hand, that's somebody who's, poured financially into Wayne, bailed him out of his tax problems, made sure that he was good, put money in his pocket, was willing to say, man, you in debt, I'm willing to sign your mama just to put money in your pocket so that you could get out of the situation. What do I have to do to legally give you money that the IRS isn't going to just take? How can you stay afloat? So I don't think he could ever truly be all that mad at Jay-Z, although he may hold or harbor some emotion toward it. I think he's always going to have that reverence for Jay because he kept him free and living and giving him financial freedom during a time when he was trying to fight for his bread from Birdman and shit like that too. Right? So they say Wayne called the LA rapper ahead of the Super Bowl to clear the air and to encourage him. Earlier on last year's GNX album, Lamar had rhymed irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. A day later, Wayne made an ex-post warning. I just be chilling and they still come from my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. Those lines spurred speculation that Wayne was set to insert himself into Drake's beef against Lamar following the Super Bowl snub. Wayne seems to not quite remember the post when I bring it up. He says, I sound like I'm talking about the media because I said they. Smart move. Smart duck. But you still in the studio talking shit. In fact, Wayne says that he didn't pay attention to Lamar and Drake's war of words. He says, I'm going to give you the perfect example. I went on stage and I was singing this song and they thought I was dissing when Wayne was seen on the stage rapping along to They Not Like Us or They Don't Like Us or whatever. The song was Not Like Us, Lamar's smash hit DJ Mustard produced takedown of Drake from last year. Wayne burrows his face into the arm of an accent chair while laughing about unknowingly rapping along to a Drake diss track. He says, I ain't want my dude to be mad at me. He says, I didn't even know it was Kendrick. This nigga gonna come out and say he didn't even know that was Kendrick on that record. A nigga that been out a decade, a nigga that you done collaborate. How you not know what a nigga sound like and he done rapped on your shit? Boy, if you get your dumb ass out of here. Boy, this nigga will piss you off. Wayne tries to play like he's so aloof, like he don't know what happens outside of his house. And that shit be so fucking fake every time. Pisses me off. Anyway, I didn't even know it was Kendrick, he says. For most of the rap world, the Drake Lamar beef was hot button news. It didn't make a blip for Wayne, they say. While pointing to a nearby TV playing ESPN, he declares, if it don't happen on this channel or FS1, I wouldn't know what happened. Nigga, you was watching the motherfucking playoffs, wasn't it? You was watching the motherfucking NBA season, wasn't it? Because the shit got played there too. As the album playback ends, Wayne transforms into the master of ceremonies holding court about whatever comes to mind. The table I'm sitting at has a red tray with 10 tubes full of 4 or 5 blunts apiece. Wayne and Twist went through about 2 tubes so far. Throughout the night, Wayne periodically walks up to Lil Twist. They switch blunts without a word spoken. I can't discern the pattern despite trying all night. Okay. They get to shooting the shit about some other shit that don't matter. They then start talking about YouTube. This nigga say he didn't even know that Wayne and that Kanye and Jay-Z did fucking Watch the Throne. Later in the evening, I referenced Jay-Z and Kanye West Watch the Throne. He says, what's that? Kanye and Jay-Z's album. He says, they did an album? Come the fuck on, Wayne. The rest of the room spends the next 5 minutes. Now, what I will say is, I won't say he don't know this stuff, but as much substance as he puts into his system, I wouldn't be surprised if his memory just bad, you know? So he does recall niggas in Paris and No Church in the Wild. He didn't even know Otis? Come on, man. Wayne's obliviousness pops up again when it comes to rapper Sexy Red, who features on Sticky with him, Glorilla, and Tyler. Tyler was like, I know you don't know who that is. I was like, I damn sure don't. Red who? Sexy what? I'm sure he probably met Sexy Red. That's crazy. They going through far lengths to make it seem like this nigga don't know nothing going on outside his t-shirt. Is there anything else relevant here to the subject? Okay, there's more. Wayne says that he didn't watch Lamar's Super Bowl performance. He and Lil Twist played pool during the set, then went outside to smoke. Sounds deliberate to me. Every time I looked, check this nigga what he got to say. Every time I looked, it was nothing that made me want to go inside and see what was going on. So he literally saw Kendrick up on the screen, rapping his ass off with no backing track, all the cool shit he did up there. And he says, there was nothing going on that made me want to go see more. That's hate. Now I don't give a fuck how many of you people are like super heavy Wayne fans. I'm that too. And I can acknowledge this nigga on some bullshit. He feeling some type of way. He's, you know what I mean? And I understand you could be hurt. But fuck that shit, man. This is a nigga that looked up to you. This is a nigga that who fucking got on camera and rapped verses from your Squad Up Hot Boy days for hours when you threatened to retire from the game. And you couldn't even give him no respect to say shit, man. I wanted that spot, but let me at least see how he finna hold it down. And niggas be trying to call me a hater on YouTube. He goes further. He says, Wayne vows that he'll no longer consider doing the Super Bowl. He says, they stole that feeling. I don't want to do it. It was perfect. Right? Now remember, last year he said that it just showed me I gotta be better. I gotta show up better. I gotta do more next time. Now he's saying, man, fuck that shit. So where he could have taken accountability, he now says, I don't want to do it no more. How about them apples? Interesting. Now, if you want to see the rest of that interview in its entirety, you're going to have to go to rollingstone.com. Chances are they're going to try to make you pay to see the full article. You know what I'm saying? I use a site called archive.is. You know, don't spread that out too far, but you can use the link to get into the site and get access to some of these paywalled articles and stuff. But don't tell them I sent you, okay? Because we don't want to get them knocked down. But I just gave y'all a quick little cheat code, all right? Let me know what y'all think of this bullshit down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, bye. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.